Hey y'all, it's been a minute. I know I should have been adjusted by the time I got on here, but you know how that works. It has been a minute, but I'm going to do better. I know I say that every time, but I really mean it today. I think I'm going to move toward um, more current events conversations. We'll still be telling the tale from the dryer. I know y'all like, where's the yellow background? This is the other dryer. There's two dryers in the room. So, nevertheless, today what I want to talk about is this video that's been going around of the substitute teacher and the little girl. Um, I am off work on Mondays. It's a normal thing for hairstylists. And one of my clients said, "Oh, you should go substitute." That would be me in the picture in the video. So the answer is no. And maybe it wouldn't be me because I do a better job of communication, but these children are built very differently than the basic communication. I'm not really sure what it is, but this is what I want to talk about. There is a uh, reality show on Hulu. If you all get a chance to look at it, it's called The Parent Test. It's a really good show. I got involved in it and was just binging it. To the point where, and I normally binge stuff when it's done so I can go all the way through. I was waiting for, the weeks to come so I could watch it. And what it talks about is all these different parenting styles where you may have a very strict parenting style, a child-led parenting style. There was just so many different ones. I should have took notes and to been able to give you, but those two stand out in particular because what we've known, strict parenting styles, you end up with children who eventually get out and go crazy because they've been so consumed by their parents and they ain't been able to get out and move. And then your child-led parenting style, which has never made sense to me. How are you letting somebody just, who's 6 lead you through the world? I definitely understand compromise, negotiation when it comes to children, all of that. The parenting style that stood out when I was watching it for me was discipline. And I was like, oh, this seems more like me. Because disciplined parenting was where, this is what it is. I have already lived this life that you are embarking upon. Therefore, I am going to equip you with the information that you need so that you can be successful. Don't do this. You are allowed to do that. That's just period. Those are the end up being the bottom lines. Not very strict on everything. We do have room for negotiation. Well, I don't want to do this today. I want to do that. That's fine. We can do that. But at some point, as the parent, you got to stop and say yes or no. I'm not sure if that's what parents are doing nowadays. Just letting children fly through doing anything they want to do. My son does not get hit physically as a form of punishment. I don't whoop him. When he was younger, much younger, he might have been like 2 or something. And I told him to do something or, whatever. He didn't do it. And I felt myself get extremely angry because he wasn't listening to me. I looked at his face, and his face was a face of terror. Not respect, not reverence. It was pure terror. He was horrified that whatever I was saying it just made him just to that point. I don't ever want to see that on my child's face. Now, I have seen it. As we've gotten older, I have seen it. However, in those instances now, he still doesn't get whoopings. It's definitely a scared face now. At 2, there was no reason he should have been horrified of his mama. Now at 12, it might be a reason for you to be horrified with your mama, especially if we done had these conversations and now you just out here doing willy-nilly stuff. That's not a thing. So I'm not sure where the line needs to be crossed or needs to be sat down, or a real line when it comes to how you're supposed to leave the house. What you're supposed, who you are supposed to be when you leave the house. And the difference is James Adam is very much the same character in home as he is out in the street. Now, of course, he do a little bit more stuff at home, but when he get out in the street, that cuts off, because I'm more familiar with these people. They gonna give me a little bit of a slide. I'm not gonna try this outside, because then I got to come back and deal with these people who may give me a little bit more of a slide. Back to the little girl in the video. I don't know her. I don't know the substitute. The however of all of this is somebody has amped her up some kind of way to feel like she can do anything that she wants to do, and there be no consequences. When we were in school, we had a few students that would act up, but most of us, we ain't act no monkey at school. And not because we were afraid of teachers doing something. Who you about to go home and tell your mama you was acting up like that? I don't know. And then too, she may be a little girl who don't act up at home, and she just thought she could act up in front of her friends. And then she gonna get home and she gonna get it, get her feelings hurt. All of those things can be playing a part at the same time. It is imperative as parents that we be disciplined parents. And what I mean by disciplined parents, we already done dealt with our own stuff. We have figured out what affects us, how it affects us, and we are balanced in who we are. Being angry parents and then taking out your anger on your child never settles anything. If I'm upset with James Adam, just go in your room. Don't talk to me right now, because I need a minute to get myself together. Now, do I have moments where I scream? I absolutely do. I just do, because sometimes I just be in such a rage, and it do take me a minute. Nitra, you need to get yourself together. So I stop and I do apologize. I apologize for screaming at you. I should not have done that. And then we go back. There's a balance in this. It's a dance. There's a dance to being a parent. There's a dance to being a child. There's a dance to just being a human. And everything has ups and downs and flows and jiggies and, rolls. And we have to be able to move through some stuff. And if you haven't figured out any kind of way to be able to move through some things, it's a problem. And I understand that people have their own experiences that they have gone through, which makes them treat their children in certain ways. But sometimes we got to pull back and acknowledge what those things are and talk to your children about why you do the things that you do. When I was growing up, if I just had somebody to talk to me about the way that they felt about certain things, I probably would have not done some of the other things that I did. I have no regrets about who I am at this point, because all of those experiences make up this, and I'm cool with all of that. However, those are the things that I think about when it comes to my son. How is this experience going to manifest itself when you're 22 years old? If something comes up online, and I'm not sure if we've talked about it yet. Come in here, so I need you to see this. What do you think about this? Because I want to know what his thoughts are. You know, even we never know what we're going to do, how we're going to respond when something happens, but you still want to give people preparation in some way, shape, or form. Back to the parent test. One of the tests for the children was a stranger coming to the door and whether you were going to let them in or not. My son, no. From the time he was able to stay home, and he may have stayed home by himself like 30 minutes for the first one, and that was just because people were coming in and out. So, you know, Sugar on her way back home. Do not open this door for nobody. I don't care. If they ain't got no key, they can't come in. He said, well, what about Aunt Londa? Do Aunt Londa got a key? That's period. So in the test, there was some children, and that's what their parents had said. Evidently, their parents work from home, and they were like, you know, we're working. We don't have time for anybody at the door. We don't expect nobody to come. Do not open this door. Them people was ringing on that door and knocking on the door. Them children was on their iPads or playing in the floor or whatever, as if nothing was happening, because their parents have already instilled in them certain things. This is how this works. If you never instill in your child those certain things, you just don't know what's going to happen. A couple of the tests, they failed. The children failed them tests big time. That child-led situation, went right to the door, opened the door, started talking, let the people in the house. Of course, they had no intentions of hurting the child, but the point is, you've got to have conversation. This little girl and this substitute, y'all, and I can't say this is just the truth. This is the 100% truth. If you hit me, we're fighting. I'm going to do everything in my power to back away from you. But the minute you hit me, it's on. I'd have been in the floor with my booty out. Difference is, I'd have had on panties. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with nobody. Not no child. Not no grown adult. I'm not doing this. At some point, I think she may have went a little bit too long, and I don't know. You know, I just saw, if you hit me, I'm gonna get one in on you. Then I might try to just restrain you. But we're not, that's not how this is going to happen. You're not just going to be hauling off hitting on me. You're going to get a knock upside your head. I just can't fault this lady. I'm sorry. I can't fault her. It is imperative. And, you know, if y'all are watching, y'all got some friends, y'all share this information. It is imperative that y'all train these children better. That little girl never, even if she was mad about her phone, even when I was in school, we didn't have phones, but we may have had like, I don't know what we had, y'all. I'm old. I just can't remember right now. But say we had something. Don't take that out. Don't have that out in class. That's what that means. Don't have it out in class. If I see it, I'm going to take it. And you're not going to get it back until the end of the year when your parent come up here and sign for it. Like, some of those things were just, it's already established. So if you're not supposed to have your phone out, why your phone out? Even as adults, I don't know if y'all know, but I was finna say I have a problem, but I'm not going to put that on myself. I have a challenge when it comes to people not paying attention on the road. People already drive crazy. And I drive fast. There's a difference. Crazy is you just out here willy-nilly and doing whatever. This lady is literally on her phone. The importance is the phone, not that you driving this 2-ton vehicle. The importance is the phone. I just looked at her. These phones have just, like, our minds are gone. We don't have conversation. We can't talk. You just got to touch it. You got to go back and look. If ain't nothing going on, I don't have no issue with nobody being on their phone. But if you're driving, you need to drive your car. You need to drive your car. Don't be trying to drive and be looking at your phone. Number one, that's just stupid. Number two, it is stupid. Don't do that. Just don't do that. But the consumption, like that little girl was probably like, this is just a conversation. I can't be without my phone. I'm going to die. You hit this woman because this woman was going to keep your phone. Y'all, that's crazy. That is crazy. She hit this lady. And that lady hit her back. Listen, y'all, y'all better help these children. Help your children. Help your friends. You know, tell them to come up out of this. We're having lunch or dinner. Put the phone up. Put the phone down so we can talk. You know, if everybody's on their phone at one time, okay, when the food come, y'all, we can drop them phones so we can eat and have a conversation with each other. Something's got to change. And in my little world, because I don't know all the people, but in my little world, my little community, I'm just hoping that something that I say helps people to make better decisions. We need to be more balanced in our decision making with our children. We need to be more balanced in what we consume, how much consumption we do of a thing. And you need to know, if you hit somebody, they're going to hit you back. And that's just period. That is the rule. Now, at some point, you might come up with an exception where somebody will let you hit them. That's not factual. That's not a thing. I got a girlfriend. I'm going to tell this story, then I'm going to be done. She was at work. This is a very polished girlfriend. She doesn't raise her voice. You know, she doesn't laugh loud unless she's in, you know, private company. But she's very poised lady. This lady in her workplace, and she's very professional. Somebody can cuss her out at work. She will use the most professional word she can find to cuss them back out. And they'll be sitting there looking, saying, did I just get cussed out? They're going to feel a cussing, but they not going to really know what happened. That's her. This lady went up to touch her hair. My girlfriend tried to break that woman's arm. Stop thinking you can touch people. Even if it's stay out of people, you can't do that. And definitely, what if that woman had been coming at her with some kind of attack? My girlfriend would have killed her. Luckily, it was just her trying to touch her hair. That lady did not know what happened to her. She really tried to break her arm. Y'all got to be careful. That is a rule. You touch me, you gonna get touched. It's not an exception. That is a rule. So, anyway, that's just my little commentary. If you get an opportunity, go and watch The Parent Trap. You ain't got to watch all of them. Watch about 4 episodes. I think it's like 12. I don't know. But, you know, watch a couple at the beginning, the middle, and then watch the very end. But it's interesting how people parent their children so very differently. And we all wind up back in the same spaces. And you be like, who raised you? Wolves? That was my conversation when I went off to college. I was like, I ain't think y'all did a great job, but when I ran into these people, y'all was the best parents y'all could have ever been for me. Because these people's raised by, they just out here just doing whatever. Anyway, until next time, America. Love you. Bye.